بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا وقدوتنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك أعلى الدرجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير. وبعد. We begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all forms of praise because only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is worthy and deserving of praise. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His choicest blessings and mercies upon our beloved Master and Guide, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon his pure and chaste wives, his noble and beloved companions, and all those who follow in the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam until the day of Qiyamah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We make dua in these few moments before the beautiful month of Ramadan dawns upon us. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bless each and every one of us, inshallah, to see this beautiful month. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity for gathering in His house. The most beloved place to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the earth is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Allah that He has gathered us here today on this beautiful day of Jumu'ah, a day that is greater than the day of Eid, in the state of Iman, as brothers in faith, that we are able to access the masjid freely, alhamdulillah, and pray together. We also take the opportunity to mention that this is a day in which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has encouraged that we increase our salawat upon him, and we make dua that Allah can grant us the tawfiq, inshaAllah, to increase our salawat upon him, even if it is just by a little. If you don't have the habit of making salawat, send 10 salawat. If you have the habit of sending 10 salawat, send 100 salawat. If you have the habit of sending 100, send 500. Allah. If you have the habit of sending 500, send 1,000. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rather it is mentioned in the hadith, in the athar, that for the individual that sends 1,000 salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam every Friday, he will not pass away until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows him his place in Jannah. Allah. So we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can grant us the tawfiq and the understanding of the value of salawat, and that we can practice upon this beautiful amal, inshaAllah. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran al-Kareem, A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan al-rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه إلى آخر الآية. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah that the month of Ramadan is the month in which the Quran has been revealed unto mankind, هدى للناس, as a means of guidance for you and I. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِنَ الْهُدَى وَالْفُرْقَانِ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed the Quran with clear signs of guidance as well as clear signs of discernment between right and wrong. So whomsoever from amongst you witnesses the month, whomsoever from amongst you witnesses the month, you find yourself in the month of Ramadan, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us life, Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen, to see the month, فَلْيَصُمْ. If you are able to, then fast this month. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it and grant us tawfiq, inshaAllah. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه متفق عليه. It is narrated by Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, whomsoever fasts the month of Ramadan إيمانا واحتسابا, with full belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wahtisaban, and with complete conviction and hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward him, غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ, all the sins that he has committed before that month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will wipe those sins away from his account. Ameen ya Rabb. وعنه رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال. Another hadith of Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه, it is narrated in Sahih Muslim. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم says, الصلوات الخمس والجمعة إلى الجمعة ورمضان إلى رمضان مكفرات ما بينهن إذا اجتنب الكبائر.
Allah, Allah.
Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم says that your 5 salawatul khams, praying one salah and praying the next salah, what happens in between the salahs, the 5 awqat in your day, from one salah to the next, and one Jumu'ah to the next Jumu'ah, what happens in between those Jumu'ahs, and one Ramadan to the next Ramadan. If you can fulfill these actions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive whatever wrong you have done in between, as long as you have not committed a major sin. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq. I'm just mentioning these ahadith in this beautiful verse of Quran as an introduction. The topic of today's discussion is how to prepare for this beautiful month of Ramadan. Just some things that we can do inshallah in these last 2 weeks that we have left of this blessed month of Sha'ban, that we can do inshallah, or we can try and inculcate within our routine for these next 2 weeks, so that we can get into the mind, the frame of mind for the month of Ramadan, and that we can prepare inshallah our bodies correctly and our schedules correctly to be able to benefit beautifully from this month and get this reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, this forgiveness, this taqwa, this inculcation of good habits, etc. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it and make it easy for all of us. There's just a few points that I've gathered from a particular PDF that was making its rounds. Very, very beautiful document which has these points that I'm going to share with you today inshallah. And the first point is to fast. Now we know from the ahadith, Imam Hassan Hafidahullah Ta'ala also last week mentioned some very, very beautiful aspects of Sha'ban and before that. And fasting is one of these things. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would increase his fasting. Normally the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would fast on Mondays and Thursdays and the Ayyamul Bid, the 13th, 14th and the 15th day of each month. This was the general practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But specifically in the month of Sha'ban, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would fast over and above these days. Extra fasting. So if it is not the habit of an individual to fast Mondays and Thursdays, then inshallah we can make an intention that we will start fasting Mondays and Thursdays. This may not necessarily happen now, because I would like to also mention that scholars mention that there is a prohibition of fasting after the 15th for those who are not habitual fasters. That you should not fast after the 15th of Sha'ban before the month of Ramadan, so that you do not tire yourself out when the month of Ramadan comes. Save your energy for the month of Ramadan if you are not a habitual faster. So inshallah, this is an intention that we can make even from after Ramadan. When the 6th fast of Shawwal come up, we can fast them on Mondays and Thursdays and make the intention that in the month of Shawwal, we fast those 6 fasts over the Mondays and Thursdays, we spread them out, and then we just continue fasting on Mondays and Thursdays inshallah, following the sunnah of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. For those that are habitual fasters, and there are many brothers amongst us, alhamdulillah, I read one very beautiful hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that fasting is a shield for a believer. Like how you protect yourself with the shield in battle. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions, Junnatun fil qital, like how you protect yourself with the shield during battle, your fasting is a shield from the fire of Jahannam. So for those brothers that are habitual fasters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. Amen. And may Allah grant us the tawfiq inshallah also to inculcate this beautiful practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There are many studies that have been done. And fasting actually, when your body is deprived, your body tends to perform better. Your body, your brain tends to perform much better when you are fasting than when you are not fasting. So this is a very interesting thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to fulfill the sunnah. But there's another aspect of fasting. Some of us may have qada fasts for whatever reason. Maybe we were sick last year Ramadan and we were unable to fast for a few days. And for some reason, when Ramadan ended, we got back into the swing of things and our life was just hectic. And we know what's been happening last year. I don't know about anybody else, but my last year was a bit tough. So life happens. And like this, we may not always, fast those fasts that we missed. For the ladies also, generally the ladies have their haid and they cannot fast for a few days, etc. So they have to pay those fasts back. And it's normal when the month of Sha'ban comes and everybody's rushing to, get those fasts in before the new year. So let us fast, inshallah, those fasts. For the ladies that haven't done it, make a niyyah, inshallah, alhamdulillah. The days are still quite short. So it is easy to get those fasts in, those qada fasts that we owe to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for the brothers that were ill last year, may Allah keep you with good health. Ameen. And those that were unable to fast for whatever reason, those few days, 4 or 5 days that you were unable to fast last year, inshallah, we still have 2 weeks left. 2 weeks. Let us try and get those fasts in for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the new month of Ramadan comes. The second point is to recite Quran al-Kareem. Recitation of the Quran, my brothers and sisters in Islam, is something that is supposed to be part of the life of a believer in any case. Regardless of what month it is, regardless of what day it is, we are supposed to have the practice of recitation of the Quran al-Kareem on a daily basis. For whatever reason, if we do not have this practice, we can start now. If you are not used to reciting Quran, or if you struggle to recite Quran, take out 5 minutes. If you are that person that struggles, then don't give yourself a page allocation that I'm going to recite 5 or 10 pages of Quran today. Give yourself a time limit. I'm going to take out 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from my day, which I'm sure we can manage, inshallah. We take out a 10, 15 minutes and we give that time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are a good reciter of Quran, you are able to recite Quran comfortably, then give yourself a page allocation. If you are used to reciting 4 or 5 pages a day, increase your recitation by 2 or 3 pages. Just so that you can get a little bit of extra in, so that you can prepare yourself for Ramadan. When you go into the month of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, you've already fed your ruh with the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it will be easier for you then, inshallah, to increase your recitation in the month of Ramadan, the month of Quran. So make it realistic for yourself also. Understand that don't bite off more than you can chew. If you know you're struggling, or if you know you don't have time, then at least have istiqamah, at least have consistency upon that which you are doing. Do not decrease the amount of recitation that you are doing. The Quran al-Kareem has an amazing effect on the believer's heart and on your ruh, on your ibadah, your overall state of mind. The effect of the Quran, it will assist you in abstaining from sin, it will protect you from shaitan and his whisperings, and it will give you that sakina in your day and that sweetness of iman that you are chasing for. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq, inshallah. The third point is probably the more difficult one, and this is the salah at night. I'm saying at night because I don't want to specify that we should stand up in tahajjud. There are many people amongst us that are, ambachsmanner, or they work in certain places where they have to get up early, like really early, and then they make their way to the workplace. They have a full day of labor and then they make their way home at night. So understanding your lifestyle and understanding your schedule, do not give yourself too much that you cannot manage. Understand, we are preparing for Ramadan. Let the month of Ramadan be your ultimate goal, but don't tax yourself too much coming up to Ramadan. So if you are not somebody that can wake up extremely early, like the brothers that wake up, at the time of tahajjud to start their day. Some people just automatically wake up, they don't have to set alarms. Some people's body clock is already adjusted to that point where they cannot sleep past a certain point, or once they've woken up, they just can't fall asleep again. So for those brothers who have it easier like that, take out an extra 5 or 10 minutes and perform an extra 2 or 4 rak'at with the intention of tahajjud. Start your day just a little bit earlier, and instead of rushing, you have that time, you start your day with the tahajjud salah, and this you can prepare yourself, inshallah, for the qiyamul layl, or the salah in the month of Ramadan. When we do take out that extra time, we are waking up for suhoor, and some brothers wake up a little extra and they perform that salah to tahajjud as well. Start from now, inshallah. For the brothers that have it difficult, the guys that are sleeping late perhaps, you're getting home late, the sisters that have got a long schedule, etc., or they've got a very hectic day, that are deep sleepers, then if you know that you are not the type of individual that can wake up early, or you struggle, or you have to set multiple alarms, etc., then take advantage of the wakeful time that you have. Take advantage of the time that you are awake and pray your salah before you sleep. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, the same narrator of hadith that we mentioned, he would perform his witr salah before he would sleep. The Salatul Witr is normally performed after the Tahajjud. This was the practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never left out his witr salah, but he would perform it after Tahajjud. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu was worried that he was unable to wake up for the Salatul Tahajjud, and therefore he will miss the opportunity of performing the Salatul Witr. So because the time of Tahajjud technically starts after your Isha Salah, he would perform his salah before he slept, and he would perform his witr before he slept, just so that he can get the reward. It may not have been the ultimate, because obviously the challenge is in sleeping and then waking up. But Allah does not deprive you of reward just because you fall into a specific. If you struggle, Allah is merciful. Read that salah before you sleep, inshaAllah, with the intention of tahajjud. Read that witr salah with the intention of sunnah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you abundantly, inshallah. And like this, we prepare ourselves for the Taraweeh that is coming, and the extra salah that we are going to be giving ourselves, or that we're going to have to partake in. So like that, we can prepare ourselves and make it easier, inshallah, as the month of Ramadan comes. May Allah grant us tawfiq, inshallah. The fourth one is sadaqah. And I say sadaqah, which is a general term for the word zakat. But this is an opportunity where it is mentioned by some scholars that it was the habit and it was the practice of the wealthy people of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that in the month of Sha'ban they would already start discharging their zakat before the month of Ramadan comes. A lot of people come and they do it in the month of Ramadan, which alhamdulillah is a good thing. And this is just obviously to facilitate ease of calculation. And they know when the month of Ramadan comes, everybody knows, hey, I must go check my zakat. But some people used to do it before. They used to do it before Ramadan. They would give out their zakat, they would distribute it to the various individuals and recipients, for this reason that they can also strengthen themselves and sustain themselves for the month of Ramadan. And like this, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Whenever it is that you discharge your zakat, may Allah accept it. But the main thing is to discharge your zakat. A lot of people do it in the month of Ramadan, some people do it outside of the month of Ramadan, some people have a specific date in whichever month that they do. As long as it is being discharged, that is the most important thing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. And then there is general sadaqah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the month of Sha'ban, the month of Ramadan, he would increase his acts of charity. So maybe we don't have lots of money, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never ever looked at quantity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always looked at quality. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned that we would, the ummah, the people that come after the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, even if we had to spend the entire mountain of Uhud's weight in gold in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it would not amount to a single date that Sahaba spent in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the reason for this is not because Allah doesn't want your sadaqah, or Allah doesn't accept your sadaqah, or that your ibadah is useless. No. It is the sacrifice that went behind that date that Sahaba radiallahu anhum gave in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They would literally give every single thing they had. Everything they had. Which we not necessarily say that we can do the same. And like this, it is because of that they have the status that they have. So the main thing is that we should give sadaqah. So Allah always looked at the intention behind it. Maybe you are giving 1 rand, but that 1 rand is very, very difficult for you to give. And the person that's giving 10,000 rand, it's easy for him because he's got a lot. So like this, it doesn't mean that Allah accepts his more than yours because it's more, or yours more. No, it's the intention behind it. So whatever you can give, even if it is a 1 rand or a 2 rand or a 5 rand, but give in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in preparation for this month of Ramadan. And when we give sadaqah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, firstly removes difficulties from your path. There are many benefits of sadaqah. Allah removes obstacles from your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove sickness, inshallah, from your life. You cool the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you have slipped up in any regard, pertaining to your faith. These are the sadaqah is a means of removing difficulties and negativity from your life. So give in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless you and reward you. And the best form also of sadaqah, especially coming up to the month of Ramadan, is feeding those who are fasting. Iftar, we know those that have been to the haram in the month of Ramadan, those that have seen it, you will see how many thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people are being fed at the iftar. And one individual would feed a couple of thousand people. He would buy dates every single day. They buy dates and they buy yogurt and they buy bread and they buy the duqa and they buy the coffee and the tea and the whatever. And they feed thousands of people every single day at iftar. Every single day. So maybe we can't feed 1,000 people, but we can feed one person, insha'Allah. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him the reward of his fast, and Allah will give you the reward of his fast as well, just because you gave him something to break his fast. So this feeding and the sadaqah of iftar is a sunnah we should be trying and bringing to life, insha'Allah, this Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from those that are able to do so. Number 5 is we should try and listen to material that will inspire us to be better human beings, inspire us to be better Muslims, that will boost our iman, so to speak. There is an unfortunate fitna, I will say, in the ummah today, and that is the fitna of entertainment. Internet that is so abundantly available today at affordable prices. People tend to stream a lot of things online. People have Netflix and all of those other things which they subscribe to, and people have this addiction of binge watching certain series or movies or whatever it is that people are busy with. But these things are detrimental to your iman. Even maybe your material is not haram or whatever, but it is not something which is beneficial for your iman. We need to stop this now. We need to stop it. Make an intention that we are going to listen to that which is beneficial. Listen to the recitation of Quran. If you can't recite, listen to the recitation of Quran. Listen to tafsir of the Quran, motivational talks, things that will inspire you to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just so that you can get into the frame of mind for the blessed month of Ramadan. We don't want to go into the month of Ramadan with horror movies and all kinds of other things in our minds. Go into the month of Ramadan with tafsir in your mind. Go into the month of Ramadan with Quran tilawa in your mind. Go into the month of Ramadan with something beneficial for your ruh, inshallah, that can give you a jump start when you start the month of Ramadan, inshallah. In the old days, they used to cover the TV on Jumu'ah, and in the Ramadan they put a duki over the television until Eid. So like that, I'm not saying it is good to have that in your house, whatever it is. May Allah grant us the tawfiq to be obedient and to be good, and to do that which is beneficial for ourselves, and may Allah grant us the tawfiq to stay away from those things which are harmful for our ruh, inshallah. So again, the next point is to clean our hearts. Apart from motivating yourself to be a better person, apart from listening to things that will motivate you to be a better Muslim, a more obedient, a better son, a better husband, a better father, but apart from these things that we listen to, these lectures from the scholars, we should also make an effort to reform ourselves as people. Character is sorely lacking in the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I have heard from multiple people, that they would rather send their children to a non-Muslim school because the character of the non-Muslims is far better than the Muslims in the Muslim schools. They don't have an issue with the non-Muslim community. They are supportive, they are helpful, they are respectful, but they do not have the same from the Muslim community. It is disgusting that this is the opinion of a Muslim about another Muslim because of the actions of the Muslims. That we consider the kuffar to be of better quality human beings than our own people because of our own actions. May Allah forgive us. Amen. Let us make the effort now and make the intention to reform our character. If you have wronged somebody, go and seek forgiveness. Make it right in the dunya, because you will not be able to withstand the punishment on the day of Qiyamah. Don't wait for the day of Qiyamah when you are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you are forced to go and make it right and you lose all your deeds. Fix it now while you still have life. Fix it now. May Allah grant us tawfiq, inshallah. The next point is to take stock of yourself. Understand that this is a month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala receives our a'mal. Allah is fully aware, but there is a system that was mentioned in the hadith. The malaika of the dunya, they take our a'mal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would fast extra so that his deeds would be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a state that he is fasting. Make sure that your deeds are those that you can be proud of. Make sure that your deeds are those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased to see when they are brought to Him. May Allah grant us tawfiq, inshallah. The last one, or rather the second to last one, is to take action. And this is that we need to actively do something about this preparation that I have spoken about. One thing is hearing the preparation and be like, good talk, thanks Imam for that, and we forget everything when we leave the masjid. We need to take action. Actively make an intention and start jotting down some things when you leave the masjid, go home, draw up some type of a plan for yourself to make it easier. Like I said, we've still got 2 weeks. All is not lost. It's not like you're going to find the month of Ramadan upon you and say, oh, I'm passing now and now I need to do this. No. Prepare yourself. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. If you need to adjust your sleeping routine, adjust your sleeping routine. If you have a habit of wasting time, which we all generally do on our cell phones, it's very very easy to go onto a chat group and you get involved in an argument that happens, whether it's a family group or a community group or a group at the workplace. You're between colleagues, you have a group, and this one said something that offended you, and then it's across, till 12 o'clock at night. Everybody's busy going at it there, and the stickers are going crazy. This happens. So if you know that this is something which easily happens to you, don't get involved there. Switch your phone off at a specific time so that you can try and get earlier rest so that you can wake up earlier. If you need to adjust your schedule, do that. Do your Eid shopping before Ramadan. The same kurta you're going to buy in Ramadan is the same coat that they're selling now. They're not selling anything extra. So go and do whatever shopping. If you are going to buy something new for those that can afford it, or if you don't need something new, buy something new for somebody that can't afford it, inshallah. Give someone else new clothing on Eid for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will clothe you in the akhirah, inshallah. The point is, do your shopping before the month of Ramadan so that you don't waste precious moments in the suq. You don't waste precious moments bumping into ghayr maharim in the shops and all kinds of other things and scurrying for this and rushing for that and unnecessary things. You could have taken the time and you could have capitalized on the virtues and the benefits of Ramadan, inshallah, which we will try and mention closer to the time of Ramadan. Do some meal prep. Try and come up with a meal plan that is quick and easy and convenient for the month of Ramadan. High protein meals, carbohydrates, things that are easy to prepare so that the ladies also don't have to spend half the day in the kitchen, so that they can also sit with the Quran, so that they can also sit with salah and dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let them also get a chance to do some other type of ibadah other than just preparing food in the month of Ramadan. A lot of the women complain that all they do is stand in the kitchen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for us, but try and shake things up a little bit for the benefit of everybody. Come up with a meal plan, quick and easy, that is easy to prepare, quick to prepare, but also nutritious to carry you through your fasting. And the last one is, drawing up this active timetable for your day in Ramadan. You can make use of apps, you can make use of Google Calendar, etc. There are certain things that you can do, and it will give you a plan, an easy plan for the whole month of when you are free and when you are busy. If you're working from this time to this time, it will show you, when you are free. If you are sleeping from this time to this time, it's all on the calendar. You can add it in there, and it will show you where is your free time. So that you know, okay, I've got the slot between 5 and 6. Let me squeeze my Quran in here. I'm working every other time while I'm sleeping at this time. I've got 1 hour here. Let me capitalize upon that hour. Take advantage of the technology that we use, and like this, try and improve your routine for the month of Ramadan, inshallah, to maximize it. We start from now so that we can see the fruits in the month of Ramadan. May Allah grant us tawfiq. Jazakumullahu khairan wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.